In this video, I want to give you guys a bunch of updates on a variety of different EA news, free PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X upgrades for several of their upcoming current-gen titles look to be coming. EA is also going to be announcing an HD remaster and an unannounced sports game, and the next Battlefield, that game's development has seen a little bit of an update, so we'll talk that at the end of this video. But first of all, we already know that the Xbox Series X is going to get a bevy of upgrades for current generation titles thanks to smart delivery. However, it's been a little bit uncertain in regards to how the PlayStation 5 is going to be approaching this, if there is going to be a sense of upgrades in a lot of titles. Well, the statements by EA are rather interesting in this regard. Again, we already know the Series X. They've confirmed with games like Cyberpunk 2077, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they will be smart delivered to the Series X from the Xbox One. However, as confirmed in the company's most recent earnings calls with investors, publisher EA will also be offering free next-generation upgrades for some of its upcoming current-gen titles. I think "some" is the imperative word right there. Quoting, "Note that this year, the phasing includes the effect of revenue recognition from the games we are launching for the current generation of consoles that can also be upgraded free for the next generation." Now, they noted consoles in plural, so you would have to think that is identifying both the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5. Sony has been very quiet on a lot of their plans in regards to the PS5. We don't know a lot of the key information. However, I do imagine that things are progressing and coming along pretty nicely. We should be hearing stuff very soon because the Summer Game Festival, Sony is already announced to be a part of that, and you would imagine that PlayStation 5 titles are going to be a big part of that. I really expect at this point that we're just going to get a day that comes by and it's going to be like, all right, tomorrow the big reveal is happening. I really think that is what's going to end up happening because we're at a May at this point. We're approaching, when E3 was supposed to happen, and I would have thought that come E3 time, the PlayStation 5 would have already been announced, because even if Sony wasn't going to have their presence felt there, a lot of games would be rolled out and shown off that would be dedicated to PlayStation 5 titles, so that would just make a lot of sense. Nevertheless, with the current situation in the world, you really can't be sure of anything going on, so I don't think any of this is the biggest deal in the world in regards to Sony not being completely open about everything regarding the PlayStation 5. Look, they're going to reveal their information, they're going to drop a ton of information on us at once, and when it does drop, it's going to be one of the biggest gaming news stories of the year, if not the biggest. Outside of that little thing that happened with The Last of Us Part 2, yeah, I think Sony really needs to get the ball rolling on the PS5 in regards to announcing quality stuff that people are going to be super invested into, because right now, there is a little bit of a negative perception with them after The Last of Us Part 2 debacle, as well as the PlayStation Plus games for the months of May not being that great. I know that's not a big deal, but over here, I think you guys think pretty highly of that, and it'd be nice if we got some more official information. Nonetheless, it does look like as far as game upgrades go, as it comes with EA, they are going to be offering some upgrades from their current generation titles onto next generation as well. I imagine a lot of these sports games will end up being upgraded. Also, EA to announce an HD remaster and an unannounced sports game and more. With today's EA quarterly earnings report, the publisher confirmed that there are games yet to be announced as part of its fiscal year lineup. As a part of its earnings slides, the publisher noted that there are an HD remaster on the way, an unannounced EA sports title, and more, noting we expect to announce additional titles releases in fiscal year 21 over the coming months, including an unannounced EA sports title, an additional EA HD title, 4 EA partner titles, and 2 mobile soft launches. That is quite the bevy, and the roster lineup of games. 4 EA partner titles is significant. That's a lot of releases. An EA HD title, we already know about Crysis HD Remaster, but man, EA has a bevy of games that I want to see ported and get the remastered treatment. Mass Effect Trilogy, I want to see the other Crysis games come to other platforms. Skate, I would love to see just Skate 3 even, not even the entire lineup of games. Dragon Age 1 and 2, there's a lot of games that I would like to see EA bring on over to next-gen platforms, or at this point, current-gen platforms, whatever the case may be, and what they want to do on that. I imagine that we're going to be hearing stuff very soon, as EA's digital play presentation is going to be happening in June, and they are also going to be a part of the Summer Games Fest program, so a lot of information regarding EA and their release pattern should be coming soon. Also, we got an update on the next Battlefield game, progressing very, very well, still planned as a multi-year launch title. During EA's quarterly earnings call earlier today, EA was asked by Matthew Thornton of SunTrust whether the publisher can talk about the next Battlefield title being pushed back to fiscal year 2022. Thornton noted, "Hey Andrew, hey Blake, thanks for taking the questions. Maybe too, if I could, you guys have talked a little bit about Battlefield being pushed out to fiscal 22. Wonder if you could maybe just give us any other color or comments on thoughts on other kind of pipeline projects as we look out in the out years. I've noticed that in these earnings call, the terminology of color is used a lot, like can you give us color on this? Just details on what's going on if you guys were a little confused by that. Andrew Wilson responded, first I would say Battlefield is progressing very, very well. We're excited by what the team's doing, and again, in the context of the work-at-home environment that had been truly inspirational and how that continued to develop great entertainment in the context of our Battlefield universe, so I'm excited for when next year comes. In the same earnings call, Wilson talked about the publisher's annualized releases such as sports games and how titles like Battlefield and Dragon Age are titles that launch on a multi-year basis. And so, as we think about our broader portfolio, you'll continue to see us launch games on an annualized basis. Our sports games would be a good example. You'll continue to see us launch games on a multi-year basis. Things like Battlefield or some of our titles out of Dragon Age would be a good example of that. You'll continue to see us think about games on a 5 and 6 year time horizon. The Sims, which launched the game over 5 years ago and continues to grow every year through extra content live services, would be an example of that. And then you'll see us launch true platform games like Apex Legends, which we expect will have continued to grow over the next decade. That's coming directly from Andrew Wilson, EA CEO. Battlefield 5 was a game that initially had a pretty negative reception, but I think the game developed into something pretty good, and overall, even on launch day, I thought the game was rather good. It was just some of the marketing decisions with that game that really turned some people off. But Battlefield 5 fundamentally as a game itself, I did think it was a pretty good game, and they've dropped a lot of content updates for it. And overall, it's become a pretty decent title. The next Battlefield game, whatever it is, as long as they promote it correctly, as long as, you know, if it's Bad Company 3, that inherently is going to do very, very well. Probably just going to be another mainline Battlefield title, whether that be Battlefield 6 or they name it something entirely different. I don't know, but Bad Company 3 would be something that I think gets a lot of people excited. We'll see how that shakes out. I imagine we'll see an announcement, not in the near future, but within the next 6 to 9 months. I wouldn't expect it anytime soon, but do know that that is on the horizon. And that's going to conclude this video. Again, free PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X upgrades for several EA titles are probably coming. Does that bode positive things for other games getting PS5 updates? I would have to think so if EA is going to be on board with it. EA is also going to be announcing an HD remaster, an unannounced sports game, and more. And the next Battlefield game is developing very well. However, it won't be out till fiscal year 2022. That's going to conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.